My girlfriend took me to her guy friend's party, but he told me to get lost to make sure she would come to the after party without me, so I left her so he could enjoy my sloppy seconds. I, 24 meters, and my girlfriend Ann, 23F, began dating in college. Last week, Ann invited me to her close friend and co-worker's, Joe, party. I had heard a lot about him in the past, and he and she really seemed to have a lot in common, especially with their taste in music. Apparently he was an amateur musician with a fairly successful YouTube channel. Joe initially invited only Ann, but when she asked him if I could tag along, he said it was fine. The party was on Saturday evening. It was a fun party with about 30 people, held at a restaurant Joe had rented out. Towards the end, though, I wandered into Ann's little discussion group, and I immediately got the feeling that nobody really wanted me there, most of all Ann. It was her, Joe, and a few other people. Thinking that I was just imagining things, I hung around, and listened to Joe basically boast about himself the whole time. A little while later I wandered off to get myself a drink and chat with a few other people. Eventually the time to leave came around, and I went to find Ann again. Joe approached me at that point and said that he was having an after party over at his house. I was going to refuse, but then he said, "Sorry man, but only Ann is invited," while clapping me on the shoulder. I first told him not to touch me, and then said she's not going. He informed me that she had already accepted the invitation. I texted Ann immediately to ask where she was. She responded, "Sorry, on the way to Joe's place. I'll see you tomorrow, love you." I asked if she knew I wasn't invited, and she then left me on read. Texts after that were all ignored. I drove home furious. I stayed up all night, and finally Ann walked in the door at 5:42 a.m. I know because I was by the window watching. I recognized the car as Joe's and the driver as Joe. Nobody else was in the car. Ann waved to him cutely and laughed at something he said. Ann came inside and acted surprised to see me still up. At that point I flatly told her that we were done, and she had the rest of the day to move out. Ann was at first confused with me, and then I told her that she can just move in with Joe. She rolled her eyes and said nothing happened. She gave me this spiel about my insecurities and imagination. I said it didn't matter. After this back and forward arguing, Ann finally relented and sarcastically thanked me for wasting the best years of her life. Ann finally moved out yesterday, and it was pretty dramatic. She said that she loved me and that I was throwing away everything over a party. Did I do her wrong here? I feel like I'm getting gaslighted. Relevant comment. She left you at a party she invited you to, went to another party without communicating with you and ghosted you when you messaged her? I am sorry, but she doesn't care or respect you. At least you are no priority and her colleague seems to be more important. I would never leave my partner I came with to a party stranded at a party and then gaslight him for being angry. Seems you're her safety person, the one who should wait for her and take care of her, and that's it. Update. About 2 weeks ago, I came here for moral guidance after breaking up with and kicking my girlfriend out for going to an after party with her male coworker, who outwardly stated that I was not invited. Just about everyone in the post was convinced that Ann had cheated on me with Joe. The moment she left, I felt as if I had lost interest in her, Joe, and both of their lives forever. But a couple of days later, morbid curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to find his Instagram through Ann's. I don't know if I was looking for closure or validation for refusing to even discuss the issue with Ann, but I found both. First, a few hours after Joe drove back to my place, he made an Instagram post about potentially doing a cover for Scotty Doesn't Know by Lustra. The comments were full of people saying he was going to hell with laughing crying emojis and the shushing emoji. I recognized some of the commenters as people who had attended the party. At first, I didn't know what it was about, but after looking up the lyrics, it became clear. Here's the first line of the song. Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. So yeah. Class act, he is. Catchy song, though. But it gets better. I know this wasn't healthy, but I kind of kept up with Ann and Joe's social media. They went full mask off. Another few days later, Joe posted a picture of Ann sitting on his lap. I could tell that based on the sofa he was sitting on, this was not even taken at the after party, but at the party that I went to. I must have been talking to someone else or in the bathroom when it was taken. I will say that I was severely depressed and, on a certain level, probably still am. It wasn't even really about Ann, but that literally nobody from the party was willing to give me a heads up. Ann and I were publicly dating. We showed up together. People knew I was her boyfriend. But I guess when my back was turned, they were laughing at me. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me at this point is why she even wanted to keep me around as a partner. When I kicked her out, she was legitimately upset. Was this a pride issue where she wanted to be the one to dump me? Was it the thrill of screwing around with her coworker behind my back? Or was this some logic that only the human equivalent of a dumpster could understand? I may never know. It doesn't matter anymore. I want to thank everyone who responded to the last post, and I really want to give a special thanks to those who posted or messaged me with similar experiences. Without exaggeration, I don't know what I'd be doing right now if it weren't for your comments. Relevant comments. Comment 1. If that schlong comes at you to make fun of you, brag or for whatever reason, just tell him congratulations on winning your perceived competition. Enjoy your prize of a cheating woman, and enjoy your leftovers, as crumbs are the only thing he'll ever be able to get. While it's an asshole thing to say, this is in fact the reality of the situation, and it'll drag both him and your ex back down to earth, and show that their actions has no effect on you. He's getting off on making you humiliated, as hinted by the song he wishes to cover. I won't be surprised if he switches Scotty's name with yours or dedicates it to you. Doing this will take away his perceived power over you. Comment 2. One of my old friends was once in a situation like this and unfortunately bumped into the other guy. Cocky little cow said something like, "Sorry about that, win some lose some." My friend looked straight to him and said this, "I lost a cheating girlfriend. You want a girl that you know is able to cheat and lie to your face. Oh, and tell her to stop emailing me saying that she is sorry and that she thinks of me often. I don't want to block her but I will." Turned his back to the guy and left. My friend was visibly upset as we walked away, so I don't know where he mustered the calm he had displayed. Though I did laugh out loud when I asked about the emails and he said it was a lie, just wanted to mess with the guy. The other couple lasted 3 months.